Had to do this on the YouTube app. I don't know what's up with that. The other app I'm using keeps shutting me off. Oh, let me go ahead and reconnect this Wi-Fi. Keep cutting my keep cutting my phone off the Wi-Fi. And now I'm back. But I want to get my thoughts about this Skip Bayless DeMar situation and his Skip tweets. Just talk about it. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read this right here. New York Post. So um, I don't know how good their sources is. I'm gonna read this. NFL players, NBA players, and retired pro athletes are calling for Skip Bayless to be fired. Skip Bayless to be fired for comments he made in the aftermath of Bulls safety DeMar Hamlin suffering cardiac arrest on the field during Monday Night Football. After the Beagles game was suspended in Cincinnati, the undisputed host took to Twitter to chime in on the situation. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? Bayless tweeted a medical personnel attending to Hillman on the field in Cincinnati. In this late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial in the regular season outcome. Bayless appeared on Fox Sports show Tuesday morning without his co-host Shannon Sharp and said he's looking forward to see Sharp on Wednesday. Bayless Monday night drew immediate backlash with NFL players and Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner. I said got Brittany Griner on me. But free agent, okay. Talking about a football game should be postponed. And that's all that. Okay, so what Bayless Skills was saying that why is it postponed? He just be talking to me. Are you serious about talking about when it should be postponed? DeMar Hill is all that matters at the moment. Nothing else. Yup. And that came from who that was? Sauce Gardner. The ambulance truck on the field and everything. Isaiah Thomas said something about it. He said, "I hope they fire you, bro, for you to even think the game is very sad." From Isaiah Thomas. Free agent. Oh, this is okay. The basketball, man. I hold that fire. Okay. Even Kid Perkins said something about it. He more expressive what he be thinking about the NFL and NBA. What he say? You're a sick individual. Real talk. Excuse me. Spark. Hall of Fame wide receiver Terrell Owens responded to Bayless' tweet to Instagram. It's the utmost despicable tweet ever, and I hope you lose your job. He the ball went to critical. I mean, cardiac arrest on Monday Night Football against the Bills. When I saw that tackle, when I had saw that tackle, he got straight back up. And then he just collapsed. And then from the elbow up to his hand, it was up and then it dropped. They let you know it's something wrong. They let you know it's something wrong. Yeah, then they say it was ambulance doing CPR, trying to bring her back alive. Mm-mm. Prayers up to Demar. Hope you get better. I hope you get better. My thoughts about Skip, he says a lot of things that's outlandish, and sometimes he, like on that show, sometimes he be having good talking points, but to this right here, it's a little more sensitive because you don't know if it might go worse or he might just come back and be better. So Skip should have even said nothing about it or tweeted anything about it unless he had something good to say. For him to say that should have been postponed, yes, it should have been postponed because it should be about him. It should have been about him. It's trying to see is he okay or what, and taking him to the hospital and updates on his injury or his update on his health. Like at that point, I don't blame Shannon for not showing up because him saying that, and then I've been seeing like a whole bunch of clips of Skip going at Shannon career when they were talking about Tom Brady. Like like he be throwing shots and then Shannon be throwing shots too, but he got to chill. I know it's supposed to be like a talking smack type, no exchange and no sports and everything, debating and all that. In the NFL, all types of sports, but you going at somebody's career that's in front of you and he a Hall of Fame and then he retired too and know about the sports, like he should be able to have his thoughts about the situation. And then I seen a video with the TYT Sports that in the video clip on the whole video, TYT Sports showed that Skip kept interrupting Shannon Sharp when he was giving his monologue about the whole situation. And then the tweet, like he kept interrupting him, like let him talk. It been plenty of times you seen Skip get his monologue, and you don't never hear Shannon Sharp interrupt him. Like, let him get his monologue of the whole situation, and your tweet talking about your tweet, it leading up to your tweet. Let him talk about it and his thoughts about it, and then both of y'all can just talk about it. I don't blame Shannon Sharp for just not showing up. Now NFL players, NBA players, and everybody going that Sharp. Not Sharp, going that Skip. Terrell Owens, Kendrick Perkins. I'm surprised. Let me see. I'm surprised. Stephen A. Smith even. Let me see. It then shout out to Nisa B. Is she watching me? She was on Bigo. We talked about it, and then I said, "What if Shannon Sharp or Shannon Sharp and Skip? I'm not Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith had a show together, talk about sports and everything. I think it would have been a good idea to talk about sports all around basketball, NFL, USC, no, all that. And then Stephen A. Smith talk about all the sports and everything, and they both got their own thing going on too. I think it would have been good. Now Skip and Stephen A. Smith, I think they had they falling out. I think. I think. Let me see. Let me see. I think he ain't even, I think Shannon, not Shannon Sharp. I think Stephen A. Smith ain't even said nothing about it. If he did, I'm gonna listen to it. Let me see. I'm looking it up live right now. Let me see. Yep. Matter of fact, I'm finna listen to it. Anybody that's watching, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Debate. This is about humanity. This is about the life of a young man, and hoping and praying that he recovers and comes back healthy. We don't care about football right now. We care about him.
Facts.
My heart goes out to his mother, because as parents, you quickly learn that real quick, no matter what love you thought you had for another human being, there's nothing compared to the love that you have for a child. Parents understand that. Everybody understands that. And so to imagine his mother having to run down and to jump into that ambulance, wondering whether or not her son was going to make it. Because remember, we're watching on television
Live.
and we're reacting to what we see the players acting like. We see Stephon Diggs crying. We see other players crying. We see the doctors coming out. We hear about the defibrillator being used, shocking him back, because essentially, ladies and gentlemen, had they not been there, he would be gone. That's the reality of the situation. That's how serious what transpired last night is and still is. So we pray for him and we wish him nothing but the best, and we're hoping and praying that he has a full recovery. To get to it, to extend beyond that, because I've watched the coverage all morning. I've watched Get Up with Greeny and the crew doing a fabulous job. Both of you on there doing a fabulous job. What Dominique Foxworth said resonated with me profoundly. What RC Ryan Clark said last night with Scott Van Pelt resonated very, very profoundly, because they're speaking about the humanity of football players and how far more often than not that is not paid attention to. Yep. Let me speak on behalf of most decent, God-fearing American citizens. Football players, I want to say this to the athletes in the National Football League. Part of the reason that happens is because you're so phenomenal. You're so great at what you do. You're so far above what the average person could ever imagine being able to put themselves through, to endure, that sometimes your greatness, your Iron Man tendencies, the duress, the stress, the friction, and everything else that comes with it that you put yourself through, we could never imagine not putting ourselves through. We know there's no way on earth that we would ever subject ourselves to that, because we're not capable of doing it. So as a professional athlete, when you're capable of doing it, it's hard to imagine ever seeing you in a position that we see Hamlin in right now. We can't imagine it. We look at these athletes and we marvel at the greatness, not of just of your skill set, your conditioning, the manner in which you take care of your body. You look at guys run routes. You look at guys run up and down the field, and you're like, hell, I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't even getting into the hits. You ain't even getting into the violence. Just the athleticism, the conditioning, the shape that you've got to be in to do all the things that you can do. Sometimes that lends itself towards folks taking for granted your greatness. So in Dominique Foxworth's case, he's absolutely right. There are some people that need to care more, that need to heighten their level of sensitivity, that need to recognize the fact that, excuse me, there's more to this than that. You got a collective bargaining situation going on when guys are negotiating and fighting for health care. It shouldn't be a fight. You look at what's going on the field. You look at what athletes subject themselves to every single week, and you're like, what's the fight about? Excuse me, they're putting their lives on the line. And last night we witnessed it in real time. So we take all of that into consideration. And Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who you all have heard of, who's my buddy, he always talks to me about the difference between fast mortality and slow mortality. Fast mortality is last night. Slow mortality, CTE, and various other situations that come about, and how you as a professional athlete have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it, but you're confronted by it in a far more volatile way than everybody else. And so I think on a day like today, a morning like today, when we sit there and we see Ryan Clark having to fight back tears, and we see the passion from the both of you, and we see Dominique Foxworth articulating and elocuting the positions of athletes, professional athletes, in a way that very, very few can. The fact of the matter is, I just want to take a moment to remind y'all that people sometimes are misinformed. They misconstrue certain things, but it's not always because of insensitivity. It's not always because they don't care. It's because they marvel at the greatness of you. And sometimes situations like this remind us all of a humanity we take for granted when it comes to y'all, but it's because of your greatness. It's because of what you bring to the table. It's because you can do so many things that most of us on this planet could never dream of doing, that people do that sometimes.
Yep. I wish Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith had have a show together. This smack talking, not going at people's career. This smack talking, talk about stats, talking about who's better, who's the top this, and who's the top that. I want to see that. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. My thoughts on Skip Bayless. I think now that he getting this backlash, I think he should at least like apologize live on air. That's my thing. That's my take on it. I think he should apologize, but people is not gonna rock with him like before because of what he tweeted. And then he just keep in. Let me play it. Let me find it right quick. Just one last clip. And I'm gonna get on my way and play my video game. What is it? TYT. I just played it. Let me see. Let me see. Where is it? Here you go. My ad. Wow. Yeah, these ads be coming up on everything. Go ahead and let that thing load up.
A lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night,
this is me just giving my thoughts about this. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Anybody.
What happened to DeMar?
Let's deal with this football situation. No, Hall of Fame, putting their bodies through all that work and all that. Shout out to them.
Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So they struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus.
In Shannon Sharp's return to Undisputed, the show went off the rails.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I think he just want that shock value. Like, oh, he said that. I think that's what he want.
But let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting
Okay.
me. You could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought-
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly, somebody.
No, they
had a
did
problem.
not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Incredible.
Man, Skip. I think he just want that. He just want that shock and awe.
Because I say he's playing bad this year, you would disrespect me.
And then talking about the Tom Brady situation and how Tom Brady was playing, that got a little heated because Skip kept bringing up Shannon Sharp career.
Me to support him. Prior to that, if we do remember, they also had a spat about Baker Mayfield.
How did he look yesterday? Gets an F?
No. I got the floor. Because all you do is bring up those 11 games. All you do is go back and talk about.
And this right here talking about Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of Panthers.
When he was a rookie and won 7 games. I won't talk about what I want to talk about because I got the floor. Baker Mayfield is dead last in 2022 in QBR.
Blah, blah,
He's
blah.
dead last. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. He's 57.8. He's 30-30 completion percentage. You going to let me talk?
Just interrupting, but yet when Skip talk, he just let him talk. But now when Shannon Sharp talking, he just doing all this blah blah blah. Just let him talk, and then you can say whatever.
Because that's what you do.
If you'll stay on point on question.
You never stay on point.
Okay, I'm about to stay on point.
You're not going to get on point until I'm done.
I see why Stephen A. Smith left from here. I like the back and forth with before all this happened. I like the back and forth, the smack talking with Shannon Sharp and Skip. It's getting to a point where you keep going at their careers and what they've been through and how, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be like that.
Okay, all right.
That's right.
Spew all your hate.
I'm going to spew it
your
all.
Baker hate. Spew it.
I'm going to let the world know exactly what he is.
Oh, you
He's
have 4 Twitter followers.
Don't worry about Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
You talk about Twitter, and we come out here and discuss topics that you tweeted. So
Okay.
don't give me about that Twitter stuff. You can talk about my followers all you want. But I got you dead to right, and you see how he do America, he talk about my Twitter followers. That's what I know I got it.
Although
Shannon Sharp be on it, boy. On everything. But I'm going, this my final thoughts. He said he ain't gonna apologize for what he said on Twitter. Eventually, it's gonna be some people that's gonna stop messing with him, and then people it's not. I think it's gonna lead to people start watching Undisputed, and then from the YouTube part of it, it's gonna be a lot of comments behind it, talking bad about Skip, and going, bigging up Shannon Sharp. It's gonna be that. That's what I think. If he will apologize for it, eventually they're gonna drop him or trying to find somebody because they already had a female. I think they had to drop another female and bring up another female. I might be wrong, but they had got another female. But now, like, who I've been watching that. I forgot what show what YouTube channel they got. Where Kendrick Perkins on there talking his smack, having fun. What should they do to better their game from NFL, from NBA, any sports? And I think that people that's retiring from NFL and want to talk about sports, I think it should, because it need to be talked about, because like some people that's like an analyst that talk about sports and don't know what the football players be going through, like the what it is, I forgot that quick. When they get hit and don't know what's going on or whatever, and then collapsing and doing all that situations to DeMar Hamlin situation. It need to be more people that's retiring from sports to talk about stuff like that. That's what I think. But if Skip ain't apologizing, it's gonna go downhill for Skip Bayless. And then Shannon Sharp, he ain't gonna show up, but he gonna have to because contracts and all that. But he's probably gonna do all his little stuff from at home or whatever. It ain't gonna be the same. But if they find somebody to replace Skip, somebody better than Skip, it might be better. But That's my thoughts on it. Well, I hope Damar Hillman get, if I'm saying this name right. I hope he get better. I hope he gets better and doing well. Prayers up to him. Hope he get better. This is my thoughts on Skip. I'm finna end this and I'm out. Well, we thank for everybody that showed up, clicking in and out, giving the thumbs up. This is my thoughts, and I'm going to end this, and I'm out. Oh, way.